Paula and Gregory were siblings with a small age difference, and they have lived in strife since childhood. But with age, they didn't become friendlier, as all relatives predicted, but on the contrary, they drifted away from each other. Every time they seemed to be reconciled, one of them would recall some dirty trick of the other, done a long time ago, and consider duty to take revenge. Paula was a teenager when she broke Gregory's glasses for cutting off a lock of her hair in 3rd grade. When the siblings grew up and started families, they almost stopped seeing each other, and at such times the hatred almost disappeared. But as soon as they met, the long-term conflicts flared up with renewed vigor. Fortunately, this happened only a couple of times a year, on major holidays. And their father's birthday was one of such holidays. The whole family gathered at the festive table. The fun was a bit overshadowed by the bandage on the father's hand. He cut himself while cooking, and the angry faces of Gregory and Paula. Right in the middle of the dinner, they began to yell at each other, remembering everything, even the slightest childish quarrels. Here, the head of the family couldn't take it anymore. He got up from the table and ordered the children to calm down. Then, in the same silence, he began to unwind the bandage from his hand. After everyone saw the huge wound on Mr. Fonet's hand, he sighed, closed his eyes, and began to carefully peel off a thin layer of skin from the wound. The brother and sister and everyone else at the table watched in horror as their father scratched out the recently healed cut. The guests began to scream and ask him to stop immediately because it was extremely dangerous and not sterile. Finally, Mr. Fonet sighed, went to the kitchen, treated the new wound, and wrapped it in a clean bandage. When he was asked why he did it, he shrugged his shoulders and with a sad sigh replied, "You see, old conflicts, they're like wounds. If you touch and scratch them again and again, then they will never heal and won't be forgotten. And when they heal, they will leave behind scars." Gregory and Paula looked at each other awkwardly. The girl burst into tears and rushed to hug her father, and the guy stood aside and stared at the floor. They realized that their quarrels based on childhood conflicts looked very silly. That evening, the whole family had a heartfelt talk for the first time and forgot their past grievances. Since then, Paula and Gregory tried not to quarrel over trifles. For the first time in many years, they sincerely asked each other for forgiveness. Let's learn to let go, forgive, and forget about the atrocities that were once committed by our loved ones.